We're recording. Yay!
Hi.
Okay, great. So, why don't you give us a little introduction about yourself,
Sure.
your name, who you
Sure.
are, what the heck you're doing?
What am I doing? Yeah. My name is Laura Ragusa, and I am a graphic designer by trade or whatever, and which I have been
Profession, yeah.
forever. Yeah, but by technically. So I've been doing that forever. And then 4 years ago, my son was born, and I left my job, which was in publishing, magazine publishing. And so then once I did that, I was doing like stay-at-home mom and then trying to like bring in more and more freelance.
Mm.
So um, during that time, I had like a couple of clients, and one of them is a restaurant owner. I mean, I'm still working with them and obviously still doing freelance and everything. But so like in all the other stuff I was doing for them with branding stuff, they asked me to come up with like a kids menu.
Oh my
So
gosh, so cool.
yeah, that was like so
Awesome.
much fun. I'm like, oh, I love this. It
Yeah.
was just something different than
Yeah.
all the other stuff I was doing for them.
Mm.
And, this is obviously going on while I'm also being a mom. And I'm like probably 3 years into this now. My son's was probably 3. And so after I did the menu, I was like, okay, that was just so much fun. I'm just going to kind of like go with this a little bit
Yeah.
on my own, like, my side thing. So so anyway, Artschmart was like kind of born. It was also kind of always around. I've had that handle or whatever shop name on Etsy since like 2008 when I
Okay.
was selling random stuff in college or something. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when Etsy was this little tiny baby.
Uh-huh.
So the good old days of Etsy.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I just started making workbooks. I did like an ABCs and separate numbers workbook. That was like the first one I did. And like my concept behind it was that I wanted it to be something that obviously was for the children,
Yeah.
but also that like was beautiful and designy and, and affordable, because that's an
Mhm.
important thing to me. And
Yeah.
so that was kind of how that got started. And then I have expanded the workbook line a little bit and have added more things throughout I guess it's been like a year. So
So cool.
busy
I
here.
love that because I think that like all of those, so I'm an educator, but not by degree.
Right.
I was an art major in college, and then I jumped into doing
Right.
teaching at
Evolving.
art centers. Yeah.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
so, but like looking at any kind of like teachery stuff, the graphics are the same that they were when we were in school.
Yes. Clip art.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
same clip art stuff and like the same just like cheesy like
Mhm.
Comic Sans
Yes.
everything,
Comic
and
Sans. Yes. Yeah.
it's just not cute anymore. So
I
that's
know.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
maybe it's not as important to the kids, but like, if the parents aren't liking it, then it's just going to
But
make
right,
the
if they
whole,
recognize that it's the same design that they had when they were in grade school, like it's
and
time
there's
for a reboot.
time to, yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like the basic gist of how things have gotten to today. I do a lot of like sensory things too. And
Oh, girl, we're gonna be friends. I have this is
yeah. Oh,
I have all
cool.
this. Yeah, that's so fun.
That's nice.
Perfect.
Awesome.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Mhm. So then tell me, like, what's like your favorite part of doing all of this?
Um, well, two parts. Part one is like the actual designing of the things.
Yeah.
Like, so when I get a new idea and I'm like, oh, that's going to be really cool. Like I want to make a deck, like one product that I have like almost ready yet. It's not immediately ready right now, but it's like 99% there, is like a deck of sensory activity cards
Cool.
for parents to do with their kids who are sensory challenged. Like
Yeah,
my
love
kid.
that.
So, like getting, that idea seed to like getting all the design is like
Yeah.
my favorite. That's like my favorite part, like actually designing stuff I'm personally so passionate about. And also, I guess just kind of like really like developing the style for like all this stuff is like coming up with this like coherent thing that I'm just like sticking to across the board has been kind of very fun. And then the other half would be like any feedback I get from parents or babysitters, caregivers, anything like that. Of like, if I get pictures of the kid working on it or like hear that they loved doing the workbook, like that's just like the best. I love
That's
it.
so
It's so
cool.
cool.
So do you self-publish it or do you work with
Yeah.
like a company that does it?
Nope. Total. I mean, I've never been able
Wow.
to figure out a way of doing that affordably yet.
Yeah.
So I just do the whole thing. Soup to nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh man, that's so wow. And I'm sure everyone says this to you, like, oh man, like what if like Usborne picked you up or like, any of the other companies that are out there?
Maybe.
Like, oh, that'd be
Maybe
so
someday.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
wish I knew how any of that worked.
I know. I know. I feel like it's really complicated. You have to know the right people.
Yeah, exactly. It's just connections and stuff. Cause
Yeah.
I like have been working on a children's book in my brain for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like there's an activity part to it as well too. And so,
Uh-huh.
but like just the publishing part is
Yeah.
so like beyond me.
Yeah.
But that's why there's people out there that have connections. So maybe this will put it into the universe to help.
Hey, maybe.
No, we'll see.
Right.
But that's the coolest. Oh, I love that so much.
Thank you.
So tell me about like how you have a son, right?
I do. I have son. He's 4 now.
Oh my gosh. Does he like love all your stuff or how does he interact with it?
Oh my gosh, it's funny. I guess during all this quarantine stuff, I think about all these parents home and they're working and their kids are around. And
Right.
it's so, I mean, to say it's difficult to work.
Oh my
with your
gosh. I
child.
can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I just have a cat and I'm losing my mind. I'm kidding. I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
The poor cat is going out of its mind, maybe. But then I think about how like frustrating it is for me. And I'm trying to, if I'm trying to do work and I'm just like, oh, I can't get anything done. And I'm thinking, well, of course not. Like I'm not doing a boring sitting in front of the computer job. I'm like, cutting pages with like X-Acto knives and like,
right.
Like folding paper and all this like stuff. I'm
Right.
like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I'd be all over that too if I was 4 years old. And like, I
Right.
want every bit of that too. So,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like frustrating and hard, but at the same time, like his interest is like, I need to remember like, no, this is a good thing that he's like really interested in he's like the person who wants to do it himself. He wants that X-Acto knife. And I'm just like,
Oh my gosh.
Please don't.
I can't even watch my adult students use an X-Acto knife. I'm like, I gotta go somewhere else because I can't.
Well, then you would not want to be in the room with the two of us when he is hell bent on getting that X-Acto knife.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that. So tell me about like any advice you have for small business owners, anyone who wants to just start up their own thing if they have a dream to do it.
Yeah. What is my advice? I feel like I'm still the seeker of advice, not really the dispenser of advice. I mean,
or something that someone has told to you that you're still kind of like processing,
figuring out. Yeah, I definitely am still figuring out like, just logistics, and I'm trying not to like let the things that I don't have put together right now, like holding me back from the parts of this that I do love. I just kind of keep throwing myself into the part that I love and figure like, I'll figure this other stuff out as I go. Like shipping is definitely still a thing that I think has been holding me back. And I'm like, I need to figure out how to not let that be holding me back. How can I change what I'm doing?
Do you mean more of like streamlining shipping, or like what part of it is hard for you?
I think it's more about like, how can I change the product? Like maybe offer back, like if it's stationary and I'm thinking why would a person pay this much for shipping on a card? Like I guess I need to make batches of cards, or
Do you mind me asking what you have, and we can cut this out if
sure,
you don't feel like keeping it all in, but what do you charge for shipping for one card?
Like right now I haven't offered, like I'm doing that locally. So like the cards I've been saying that I'll deliver to you, or if you're buying several, like if someone wanted to buy a bunch, then I would just do like maybe a flat rate shipping.
So can I give you some advice?
Yes, I desperately need the advice. Yeah.
So just from like personal experience, I feel the same way, because I have the same thoughts of like, who would pay that much?
Right. Why would you pay $7 for shipping on a card that costs $4 or whatever?
Well, right. But so my thing is always look at what people are buying in stores, first of all. Yeah, people are dropping like $7 for a card.
You're right. Hallmark is ridiculous. It's like insane. Yeah.
And for me, like, so I sell I make handmade cards as well too. I make ones that are like pretty much like one of a kind though, because I make marbled paper.
Oh, nice.
So it's all like hand lettered and fast, right? Whatever.
It's a piece of art in the card. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And I even struggled with making those for a long time, because I was like, people just throw cards away.
Yeah, right.
But then it's like, no, but when it's an artful card, like I keep cards. So I know that if people are buying my card, they're keeper of cards. So it's fine.
That's true.
But
that's true. They appreciate it.
Part, yeah. So I have mine on Etsy, and I have mine at $5 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And shipping is $1.50 for a card, because I can put that in another envelope and just put a stamp on it. Like,
but then what if your customer doesn't get it? Like, what if, because there's no tracking then, right?
Then I'll just make them another one and figure out tracking.
This is exactly what Kristen said.
To me, but like, actually a friend that I ordered something from, that happened between us, she shipped me something through just postage and it never came, which is just such a rare thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, I get it. But I think that, like, I don't even know what the like minimum, if you could get a tracking number on something for like first class mail for a card would be. Yeah. And I get it, but I've just been taking the gamble.
Taking the chance. Yeah, that's the same thing Kristen said. So that's,
you do it until it breaks, you know, like I totally understand like having foresight of like, this might happen in the future. Here's hoping it doesn't. But like, you know, people are paying that much for cards, man. And like doing stuff in person, I think is great. And I do that too. And for my cards, I actually do $6 a piece in person or 2 for $10. And then it just goes out the door faster. So
more profit.
You know, you just gotta like pick your battles until they show up, and don't fight it until it happens.
Right.
Maybe that's not sound advice, but
no, that totally aligns with what she said too. And like I got burned on a workbook once with the mail, but that's a workbook that should be flat rate shipping. That's it's worth more than a card. The cards thing is kind of new, so that's why I wasn't doing cards for a while because of this. But I mean,
and the other thing is like, you know, there's like bundling deals you could always do to help the costs on that. And like, we're in an age now, right now specifically, where people have to pay shipping costs if you want something from someone that's handmade. You know what I mean? Like, and me and my maker friends are always trying to remind each other that, like, first of all, if anyone gives you a hard time about it, they're definitely not your people. Right. And if they choose to not get it, but you don't know about it, then you don't even know about it and you're fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's obviously like not the best and you want everyone to buy things. But you know, the right people will come through and scoop it up and not even bat an eye at it. And those are the best people.
So. And really no one will worry about it more than me. I'm going to worry about it much more than the recipient's going to be stressing out about it. I will be. So,
one thing that I've just done is, again, there's the tracking thing, I guess, is the main issue again, but through my Etsy shop, I've offered to fill out people's cards for them. And so if they want a special note to someone, like especially for Mother's Day, I did a ton of them. Then I have that included. Then it doesn't, like, it just is going to one place and they don't have to worry about it. Just as another option.
Service to offer. Yeah. That's cool.
But anyways.
That was a good diversion there.
Like, that's talk. I don't know if it's helpful, but. So we were saying advice for people starting. Just doing it. Just like, I think just starting and
just get started. And if it's like feed the passion, I guess. I don't know if that's advice, but I mean, like, there's things that you do for paychecks and to get by and all that. And then if you are lucky enough to have a project that you're that passionate about, like just do it. Do the part of it that you love, and then I guess figure all the logistics out as you go, or something.
Great.
I don't know.
That's great advice. I love that. So how have you pivoted during these times, or have things not changed too much for you?
No, I mean, this was an actual opportunity because there are so many parents are out there struggling right now to have activities to do with their kids. So that's like,
oh my gosh. So have your sales like skyrocketed or what?
I definitely had a bump in the beginning, and now I think things are, or maybe there'll be another, like, people are kind of like needing more again, or I don't know, we'll see. But there was definitely a bump in the beginning, especially with like the workbooks that, like the reading and writing one, and then even the All About Me one, just, it was a good opportunity. And then the cards, I have like, All About and then there's a whole bunch of ones like my friend, my grandma, my mom.
I saw that. Those are so cute.
That was really good for quarantine, for everyone missing people. And so that was, I guess a lemonade out of lemons situation out of quarantine.
Totally.
and free delivery. I've been doing, masked glove delivery during quarantine.
Yeah. So do you work on other projects and other freelance jobs as well too? Or is this like primarily your hustle right now?
No, I do. I have ongoing, just
Clients,
companies
yeah.
that I do stuff for.
Mm-hmm.
I do stuff for HarperCollins, internal things for HarperCollins.
Okay.
And this restaurant in San Francisco,
So fun.
It's like on retainer,
Yeah.
for them. So,
oh my gosh, that's so cool. I would have like, that's a job that like, if I were a kid and had known that like placemat designer was a thing, I would have because I was the kid, like, I think we're probably this like close to the same age, but like, we didn't have anything to play with at the table.
Yeah.
Like if
I know, right?
you had a Game Boy and you certainly couldn't bring that to the table.
Or that peg jumping game that kind of made no sense. It was like I was missing pegs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I was like constantly drawing, but you see, I would like do the little activities like real quick on the front and then flip it over and just draw.
Let it, freestyle.
Yeah. I would just like go for it. But oh, that's the coolest though. What a fun.
Yeah. I was definitely the art nerd child. So
so fun.
Certainly relate. Yeah.
Yeah. So then how can people support you right now? Like, what are you hoping to, what are any goals that you might have through this or at the end of this or?
Well, I guess, originally I was, at the beginning of this year, my goal was to like pick up more of these vendor shows. Like I wanted to I was like, I want to do at least one per quarter. That was my like bare minimum goal. So obviously that major goal of mine, it was like, kind of like, I don't know what's happening now with this whole thing. So, definitely having my ear to the ground on any of these like evolved concepts of these vendor shows.
Yeah.
And then, it's tough. I guess I'm also still really figuring out how I'm promoting this. I've spent forever just promoting my graphic design services. Right. So I'm still sort of figuring out how I'm promoting this, like Etsy's a little tough as a way of promoting it. Well, it's very tough as a way of like primarily promoting.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. And then, I do sell out of like a consignment store that's in my town. So I'm sort of thinking about more stores that are like that around northern New Jersey that I can be looking into. And that's not really answering your question exactly.
No, it's okay. Because it's getting me thinking too of just like, and please don't take any of this if you don't want it. This is what happens. I'm constantly thinking about not only my business, but everyone else's. And
well, I'm all for any advice. So.
Yeah. But like, what if you, like these restaurants, I know they're going to be opening up again, but like, especially local ones, like partnering with them and saying like, for your takeout meals, you could include like a kid thing with it.
Right.
Or something, you know. That could be so cool. But yeah, I feel like your stuff is so great, but partnering with like another someone to like package it together would just that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Partnering is a very awesome idea for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, we can partner. We can talk about this after.
I'm in.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I think that we're in such a time where we just got to go with the flow, man. Yeah. It's like
totally. That's it. That's really it. Throw expectations away and just like,
and just whatever comes about. Like I've been making art kits and selling them. That was like a big thing I did right at the beginning.
For kids or for anybody?
For both. Yeah. I had a lot of kids ones that I did. And then I did a bunch of adult ones. And
nice.
Now I'm kind of like taking a breather because it like went well, but it's just, I have 1,000 other ideas that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yep.
Yeah, but it's good. And I think like the right thing is coming for all of us. I think like having this break right now, whether it's a break or not, I'm fortunate even saying it's a break because it is for me, but I know it's not for everyone.
Well, it's just a totally different pace so that it's a shake up, you know?
Yeah. Right. It's like shaking things up and like what's going to settle up at the top now this time.
Right.
It's like interesting. It's like I make these wonder bottles. I have one over here. Let me grab it. Yeah. And it has glitter and water beads in it.
Nice.
And it's just like a calming sensory bottle.
Yeah, like a sensory tube type. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what piece of glitter is going to sit up at the top this time? Like what's going to happen? But yeah, you should definitely check out Market Space vendor events. they're doing an online directory.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's funny because when I did the Christmas and quarantine market, one of the vendors who's in our group again this time, she's in a group down in like the Harrisburg area.
Okay.
And that flea market put together a directory. And so I sent that link to Kim and Kevin. I was like, you guys need to do this. This is like perfect. Because you have so many connections and people that like love you guys, and like they just do such a great job at promoting. So they took that and ran with it as well. They have a directory that's $15 a month or $20 a month.
Okay.
And like if you think about that for like a booth fee for a market, that's usually like a one-day thing. Like that's like so cheap and for a whole month. And the money goes right back into advertising. They're not paying me to say all this. I just like love the idea of it all. And why I'm also doing this market again is, you know, based on that similar platform of, okay, everyone's here in one place. You can click through and see everyone. A portion of the money from this time is going to marketing for the market. And I'm keeping part of it. I think they're putting all of it back into marketing. Anyway, so that could just be something that's really helpful for for you, because they have everything like super targeted too, like in the searches. That's you can type in like specific things and find it. So yeah,
that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this has been so much fun to chat, and what we can do is we'll stop recording and we can keep chatting.
Okay, sure.
And I'll trim it and edit it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so let's do a little sign off. So, well, thank you so much for talking with us and sharing your passion.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing everybody else's stuff too.
I know, but it's going to be so great. All right. We'll chat soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.